Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Venus Cove. Please come hither, gather around. Happy Aquarius season everyone. Welcome to February, 'cause damn, was January a long year. Just kidding. But it felt like that. Thank God it's over. I learned a lot in Capricorn season, okay? It was really tough. I didn't like it. I wouldn't do it again, but I did learn what I felt the universe needed me to learn. And for that, I'm grateful. Aquarius season is here now, and I'm already feeling more centered. I feel more open and flowy, and life is getting so much better. Happy Black History Month, everyone. Power to the people. As someone who is half Black and fully proud, this is a special month for me to learn more of my roots and continue my ongoing journey of de-whitewashing myself. It's taken many years, but the people who get it, get it. There's no shame here. Just living and learning. Now, I have yet another spellbinding story to account. I'm going to be sharing some astrology lore and my experience on my ongoing journey of self-love, as we are also in the season of love, and Valentine's Day is right around the corner. I wanted to tie the cosmos and what I've discovered when it comes to loving yourself, and how to harness this cosmic energy into your life as we're moving through the zodiac wheel. Because as we know, love comes from within first, right, angels? So let's begin. We've been in Aquarius season now for about 2 weeks. And for those who do not know, Aquarius season is an air sign, not a water sign, despite its name. It's one of my sister air signs, the black sheep, the hyperfixated, the workaholic, the not like other girls, career-driven baddie. If anyone knows how to love themselves and focus on themselves, it's in Aquarius. And I can honestly say, I'm feeling some of that energy enter my system. I feel the air. Aire. Aire. As a Libra, I have so much love to give. But I had always in my past given it too much to others and forgot to leave some for myself. I feel Aquarius energy is a perfect time to allow for it to teach you how to focus on yourself. Whether it's through self-care, working on your career, your grades, your sticky situation that you want to get out of but maybe been putting it off. There's a sort of selfishness about Aquarius energy that I think many people should incorporate. It's truly a time to reflect of how much you've put out to the world and now time to put into yourself. I love it. And I feel like this has a lot to do with fixed energy as well. I think the beautiful thing about fixed energy is that they are very centered and focused on one thing. And they're very focused on themselves too, and their well-being, I'd say. And I love it. I'm out here learning on the job. And honestly, the proof is in the pudding. I've always despised this time of year, and it might have been because I had always looked outward when I should have been looking inward. But now that I'm utilizing it more effectively, I really enjoy it. Not the weather per se. The energy, yes. No. There are some similarities with Capricorn and Aquarius energy I'd like to quickly share with you, just to distinguish the two a little bit better. Capricorn has a strong work ethic as well. It's very hardworking, focus on themselves too, but they have cardinal as their element, which means they are leaders, meaning they usually do all this work for not just themselves, but for others. They're very responsible, almost too much. They have a hard time taking a breath. It's a bit more work, and very little play. They They have a hard time doing the whole work-life balance thing. They'll figure it out eventually, but it takes a minute. Whereas Aquarius here, there's a bit more of a calmer energy. They still work. They are, I feel like, perfectionists at times, but only to something they are completely obsessed with. How many times have I had to re-record this episode? Many. But it feels rather very comforting this time. It feels like less is at stake, and it's solely for the love that they have of the thing that they are working on. So don't worry, angels. I feel really good too. I am happy and I'm quite excited. Capricorn season was another story, but this one is a nice one. And so angels, this is what I mean when it comes to harnessing the energy that our world presents itself to us, or at least when we enter a certain sign in the sun. The moon will be another conversation for another time, but I just want to share with you that the sky is communicating with you. It's talking to you. It feels like I can return back to my calmer state and rationalize a bit more clearly. I feel like I don't take things as personal anymore. I feel like I'm fighting less with the world, and I have my anxiety way more controlled. I don't feel like I'm striving for perfection in the account of others anymore. I'm on that when things go wrong, it'll eventually be fixed state of mind. I'm on that there's a solution for every problem type of vibe. And in this adventure, I found myself some beautiful coping strategies that have been recently truly helping me out. Apart from going to therapy, which I always recommend to everyone, I have some tips for when your mind starts spiraling. So here's what I found. Number 1. As a chronic overthinker, I've started to incorporate a 5-minute timer. For me to just go wild and overthink everything for 5 minutes straight. Kind of like clenching a body part for a few seconds and then letting it go. It actually helps me give myself the space to go nuts, talk to myself out loud, overthink all kinds of things. And when that clock finishes at 5 minutes, I'm so tired, I fall on my pillow and I just breathe. It kind of gives me a euphoric type of feeling that I kind of just put myself through that and I feel relaxed and think, damn, I was really carrying all that inside me. And I analyze how much I'd been hurting myself thinking that way and realize I don't have to do that to myself anymore. I kind of have a moment with myself of compassion, realizing I've been holding all that in, and then I just breathe deeply a couple times. And right after that, I begin asking myself some specific questions that I've written down in my notes. So it's a step-by-step process, and I'm going to share with you some of the questions that I ask myself. The first one is, will this matter in a year from now? And I know we've probably heard this question before, but I really want you to think about it this time. Really think, will it matter in a year? Just kind of marinate on that question. And let's say that question wasn't enough for you to stop worrying. Okay. Next question. Is this a fact or is it a fear, sugar? And again, really ruminate over the question, because sometimes you can't really tell. Sometimes when you're spiraling like this, you really can't tell. And that's fair. Fair. So now I ask myself the third question. Do I actually have proof of said worry? Or is it just the feeling of fear? This is where I get into the meat and potatoes. Now I'm requiring proof. Because if I don't actually have any, I'd have to let it go, right? We don't have to ruminate over it anymore, right? And so this is where I start to ease a little bit more. I'm not 100% convinced, but I also want to stop hurting myself because the sigh of relief from that timer going off made me open my eyes and body that, damn, I'm really tired of how I think. This is not sustainable. So now that I've weakened my dark ways of thinking, he's weakened, I'm able to use this safe proof method called the so what method. and it's kind of exactly what it means. You start asking yourself, so what? So what if this happens? And I keep repeating it to myself over and over again, working through it until the fear loses its power. And then I listen to some old jazz like a tired cat that's been working overtime, laying on a piano while his pianist plays. Now, this also helps if you've already been working on your foundation of self-worth for a while now, which I have. And I know sometimes I may come off as a bit of a conceited type of person on my socials, but it's literally for my own personal growth. That's why I don't take it personal like others when someone is loving themselves so loudly, saying things about themselves that are positive, kind of sassy, because it takes a lot of courage and love, especially in our society, to even give yourself a compliment and mean it. We're not out here talking about anyone or hurting anyone. It's simply for us. The so what method works really well for me now, because even when or if things don't work out, I can say, so what? I still have me. I'm still myself. So what? Life is hard. I don't have to be harder on myself. Another thing about Aquarius energy that I can admire is that it does not believe in shortcuts. Not when it comes to the things they love. They're so loyal to what they believe in that they have to see it through entirely in full detail. So if you're with an Aquarius and they are showering you with love, best believe it's real. And if they're not showering you with love, well, they might be more into, their own projects, perhaps, which is not a bad thing. The point is, this is a time to harness that energy of no more taking shortcuts in your endeavors and get to work. You got a tickle you need to scratch? Scratch it. Work on it. I am somehow in the middle of finally cracking open a book I hadn't touched since the summer, and I'm making progress finishing it. It's a horror book. I love horror. I love thriller. I love all that stuff. I've been obsessed with it all over again. And speaking of spooky, I also want to add that I feel like because Aquarius is sort of the black sheep of the air signs, sometimes, maybe not always, but sometimes, they have a bit of a darkness to them. Some dark wisdom. Dark obsession, per se. It's just a really weird, not dangerous, I don't sense, but just rather oddly obsessed. Perhaps they have a moment of reflection where they recognize this and go, whoa, maybe I'm very deep into this. It feels a little dark. Where they reach a level of knowing too much to the point of no return, and there's no going back from this. What am I to do? Maybe a bit of existentialism pops into your head, but then the outcome is usually, well, we gotta keep going. I do see some entanglements that the energy could bring in that way, so just watch out for that when you're diving very deep on the deep end of what you're searching for. I'm sure it won't happen for every scenario. Only you know your own journey, angels. But remember, there is always a safe space here at the Cove. We're always a rest stop away from your adventure out in the cosmos. And I think that's all I have for you today, angels. I hope you were able to get some food for thought on the go to your next destination. And please, come again. Please leave a review, and if you have any other words of encouragement for the other angels out here, you're more than welcome to drop it in the comments. You can find me on all social media platforms, on Instagram at MyLifeWithJohanna. YouTube and TikTok are at August in Venus. And last thing, Aquarius energy feels satisfied of their work. And I, no less, feel the same. So you got this. My name is Johanna, also go by August, and this is Venus Cove, signing off. Until next time, Venus Angels,